Good morning, everybody. This is Daniel with Peace and Plenty Farms. So there's a lot going on this morning as far as the interaction with the animals. I love to just watch the interactions with them. And this colony experiment is a lot of fun because you can watch the interaction. So right across here in this gate, and I've got this gate blocked open probably about 4 to 6 inches, and you can see the little bunny right there. So their feed and water is in there to keep the pigs from getting to their feed and water. And they really like that little area. They're coming and going from there fine. And the Silkies have their little area right there. That's their, that's the Silkie gate right there. And they are coming and going from that area. I've got that gate blocked open just enough where they can crawl in. Of course, I've got their feeding area out here. Now what I want to do is I've got the chicken feeding area right here, and I've got it blocked off so the whatever I put in there, whether it's goats, sheep, or pigs, they can't get into the chicken feed. And what I want to do is I want to build probably right here over this little wet, this turns into like a 6-inch, 4-inch creek in heavy rain. I'd like to build a rabbit cage right here with a cover over it, and that way I can feed them right here, and they can come and go right here for their feed and water. And maybe do the same gutter idea. Well, actually, maybe the cage needs to be over here and in this area. That way one gutter could water the chickens, the pigs, and the rabbits with a small cage, and I could feed the rabbits right here. So I'm going to try to build something in here. That's something I'm working on in my mind. But so the little rabbits are over there enjoying their own space. That's kind of, they can go there and they don't have to worry about the pigs. Now you can see the hut that I have right there, and the pigs are laying in there, the 2 pigs. We traded moon pie and some money for those 2 pigs, and I feel like I really got the better end of that deal. Good buddy of mine brought them over for me. We went over and got them and brought them over here. Now Sophie has immediately realized, I was watching Sophie with the pigs, and she did not like that at all. She slept with 2 eyes open. They say 1 eye open, but Sophie did it with 2 eyes open because she could not stand those pigs. Scared to death of them. They got anywhere near her, she would just, fear would come over her. I didn't get to video any of it, but this morning I found a piece of chain and some hooks, and I brought her out here. It was funny, when we were walking out here with her, she saw this field and her body just lit up. She started high stepping and stretching her neck out. She wanted this field right here. And she is extremely happy out here. They love tree leaves. I've noticed the goats. This is my first goat since I was a kid. I'm almost 60 and I haven't had goats. Didn't want goats when I was a kid. Didn't pay attention to them. But she's interesting how much she loves tree leaves. So I put the chain where it'll just barely reach the edge of these trees so she can't wrap herself around any of the tree stumps. The smaller ones right here, she could untangle herself if she got tangled. But I've got her where she's right stretched out so she won't hurt herself around these trees, and she can work on these branches. And then of course she's got all this greenery out here, and I've got her far enough away from those trees the chain won't reach there. And there's a small little creek right through there. Not much water in there today, but it's supposed to rain tomorrow. There'll be plenty of water there. And I've got her feed right here. That's how I walked her over. I walked her over with this. It was a fun little walk. She really enjoyed it. It's like taking a pet out for a walk or something. There's her little walking leash. And boy, you talk about fun. I might take her down just walk her down the road one day and walk her back. She loves to go for walks. Loves new, different environments. She's so excited she didn't even finish her feed this morning, and that is not like Sophie at all. She's so excited with this new area. Well, I'm going to grab the Chevrolet truck, and I'm going to bring her little plastic hut over here because it's supposed to rain the next couple of days. Now the plan is that I'll just move her along. You know, I've got one of those little stakes that twist into the ground, And it was really easy to twist that thing in the ground, and it spins around. Thankfully it's bright orange. Maybe I won't run over it with the mower. Might have to tie a big yellow flag on it. And it spins around, and she can just go around and hopefully not get too tangled up with that. And I can just pull it up and move her along wherever she wants to go. And in the evening, I can put her in with the chickens. She'll enjoy being in here with the chickens. So it's electrified, it'll keep her safe and all that. So we've got several gates here. There's one gate here, one gate over there, and then I have the big double gates right here where I can back a truck in there and unload things. So there's a gate everywhere. Oh, I think she just pulled that chain loose. Yep. Well, I'm gonna have to get her a bigger chain. I'll have to pause this and deal with Sophie. Okay, that was a little unnecessary drama, but we got it all taken care of. So I just had little tiny little tiny clips on the end. You can barely see where she broke it. She broke it right there, just broke that little tiny clip right off. So I had this for temporary, just for right now. I want to see if this chain she really gets a running and very hard pull on that. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on her today to make sure she's still here. She's lonely, but I believe Hannah's coming to visit her pretty soon. So we'll get another chain and let the two of them have this area. And then in the evening, I'll put them in there. Now, when she got off of here just a minute ago, I put her leash on. I keep a leash handy right here. Got a little leash handy. And I just put her on there, and I put her inside with the chickens for a minute. And they were fine. They got along fine. And there's a little shelter right here for her in the evenings inside. And like I said, I'm gonna go get her a little plastic hut. I'm gonna set it right here for her. All right, let's go get that done. And boy, this is definitely a come grow with us day. I'm learning, I hope you're learning, and I'm more than willing to learn. So let's grow together. Okay, some more barnyard animal watching. I wanna tell you something funny. These hens that are in this coop, they all lay their eggs right over here in this front coop, this front little hen box right here. And if there's a hen sitting in here, there'll be 2 or 3 standing out here on this ledge looking in at her with this look on their face like, I'm next, hurry up. It's so funny that they wait in line to get to that hen box to lay their eggs. Now Sophie is not happy. Sophie's having a bad day. So, like I showed you earlier, I took her out and put her in that field over there and put her on a chain. She broke that chain twice this morning. She doesn't like being alone. So she was okay for a little while with the chickens, but she wants to stay with me or with somebody else. So we'll have to get Hannah over here pretty soon because she is just as lonely as can be. She was miserable with the pigs, so I thought she'd do fine over here, but she doesn't like being by herself. So I've talked earlier about these lids, how they break. You can see the crack going around there, and they're $10 a piece. And I just bought this one, $8.99, and they kept breaking. So I rigged up and I think I finally got it. It took me a couple of tries to get it figured out. Something that wouldn't cost me $10. And I keep this plastic on it to keep the algae down and to keep the sun from dry rotting the lid. But I just took an old tire tube, and I cut it and put a clamp on it. Now I put Vaseline around the edge to help create a seal. And then when I moved the cap up to here, uncapped it from down there, it pulled a tight siphon around here, and with that clamp, and then like I said, I keep it covered so that it won't get damaged by the sun, like that. And then the little algae, and this keeps it from blowing this other cover here, keeps it from blowing away. And the trick is to roll it up high enough so that it doesn't wick the water out of there. So, and I put 2 blocks on there now since Sophie's in here. She doesn't knock it over. And we have 2 of those, one over here, and I did it the same way. I've got added an extra block and did the same tire tube, hose clamp, and Vaseline around that. And I hung some hay up here for her and brought her feed bucket in here. She's still not happy. I need to build myself a little tiny cabinet, maybe up here on the back wall somewhere, because I have all these little supplies now cluttering up the place. Here's another lid. I don't know if this one's broken or not, but oh, this one's good. I just took it off. I went ahead and did the rubber tire idea, and I'm going to keep this spare screwdriver out here for taking the tubes off, the tire tubes off, and I can fill them up then. Now, I want to show you, my wife didn't like the way I was pushing the feed for the chickens underneath the coop to keep it from getting rained on. And when I was thinking about bringing Sophie up here, I realized that she would eat their feed. So I killed 2 birds with 1 stone, and I built this little chicken feeder slide here. So I've got this plywood down here so that this one can slide on it. It just pulls right out and just pulls right out, and you can feed them. And then we can just slide this right back up in here like that. And Sophie can't get to the chicken feed. So that'll work there for that. Okay. Well, Sophie, which would you prefer? Would you like to stay in here, or would you like to go out and eat some grass? Why don't we tie you up again and see if you break the chain. I put another collar on her. I threw the old collar away. This is Moon Pie's old collar. It's a little bit thicker, a little bit more heavy duty. Let's go put her back out there. I know she's going to cry, but that's better than her tearing up this fencing in here. She's already climbing, trying to get out of the fencing. So we'll put her back out there and bring her little hut out for her and see if she'll stay out here for a little while. Alrighty, just a quick video before I take lunch on this cub cadet. You saw on the other video where I put a 4x4 and actually it was a 4x6 and a piece of a 2x. So a total of 5 inches, total of 5 inches under each tire. And then I took my measurements and got the plow where I could get maximum travel on the arm here. Now it may look a little bent or funky, but that's what worked out best for me. You just kind of have to set your own settings and find that. But one of the things I did learn is the distance between here. I thought it was supposed to be really small, but when I widened it like that, that's when the plow started to pull itself down into the ground, and as it was pulling down, that gave this wheel the ability to cut the sod. And then of course it just turned it right here. So the trick is for that sod to be getting cut before it hits the plow. If it's not cut, it's just going to ball up right there and drag. So by having the plow pointed down, so in other words, I cranked this almost as tight as it would go, so that this was angled and pointing down into the ground. You can see this bar, which you would think should be flat on the ground. Well, I found that it being up in the air a little bit, it gave me the ability for the plow to pull itself down, and that gave it something to pull the wheel down into the sod, to cut the sod. So I didn't have my dual wheels on this time. I still haven't gotten the spacers finished welding, but these 5 rib tires, this is the way to go with the plowing, the steering and everything. These just grip so much better. They're a little bit more expensive, but the 5 rib tires are definitely the way to go. And of course I had replaced all of the joints, so it's a good tight steering. The steering box, I adjusted it and tightened it and replaced the parts in it, but it may need to be a little tiny bit tighter. I want to show you one other thing I did before lunch here. I'm going to run through this because Ingrid has lunch ready for me. But this is where I plowed, was this garden right here. And I tell you, I walked across it and I was absolutely amazed at how deep and how fluffy that plow did. Now it's a little cattywampus because, and not even, because I was having trouble adjusting the plow. But once I got that plow turned down so it was pointed down into the dirt and pulling itself down deep, we were able to get really deep and really fluffy. I'll run the tiller across this and that'll even it out and smooth it out. If I have to, I'll get a rake and even it, because I was really struggling there for a while trying to figure that out. I did get the other, I know y'all are getting tired of this colony over here, hearing about it, but I did get this last, what I call diving board in. So you can see how it's up high and it comes in and it's got a ramp for the chickens. It's open, they don't know it yet, but they'll find it. And they'll be able to walk out here, and of course they can just flutter down. And when they get ready to go back in, they can hop, fly right back up there, and that's out of reach for the rabbits. At least I hope so. I didn't get it quite as high as I wanted. I wanted to have it 32 inches off the ground. I did 24 on the other colony, and the chickens had plenty of hop and flight to them to get up to 24. And I'm pretty sure that this will be high enough. I don't think the rabbits will pull themselves up on that. So we got that finished. Everything's done over here. The watering system, the electric fence, everything's done over here. So first thing next week, I'll run the tiller over this and we'll put our seedlings out in there. And we'll get that little garden going this year. Sophie is settled down out there. She's eating and resting. Boy, she was crying. She's really lonely. But it'll work out. It'll work out for her. Well, I'm gonna run up and get some lunch, and then we'll come back down and we'll see where we go. We probably really need to clean up. Sophie knocked all of this stuff over I had stacked inside, so I need to clean that up. I need to clean up the inside of the barn a little bit. The pigs are resting, I see. They're going around looking for a way out. I am definitely gonna have to put an electric fence on the inside for them. We'll get those supplies today or tomorrow. Thank you.